The convenience was supposed to be the point. Tap a few times on your phone, and 2 hours later, groceries appear at your door. No small talk, no crowded aisles. My first few orders from QuickCart were perfect. Then, order number 0477 arrived. The bags were left neatly, as usual. But as I unpacked, things felt curated. I'd ordered my regular brand of coffee. Inside the bag was a different, more expensive brand with a sticky note on it. The note read, "Try this." The acidic notes pair better with your morning stress. A weird, personalized touch from a shopper, trying to be helpful, I assumed. Then I found the raspberry jam. I hadn't ordered jam. The jar had no label, just another note. Homemade. Your grandmother's recipe, I think. You mentioned it once. A cold trickle of unease went down my spine. I had mentioned my grandmother's raspberry jam in a customer service chat 6 months ago, when a jar had shattered in transit. They'd issued a refund. Why would a shopper have that note? I checked the receipt. The shopper's name was listed as M. The items weren't just substitutions. There was a specific brand of ginger tea I drank only when I was sick. A box of bandages, the exact kind I preferred, and a single expensive chocolate bar. The note on it said, "For surviving the presentation last week, you deserve this." I had given a big work presentation last week. I'd posted about it on a private social media account, set to friends only. I stood in my kitchen, surrounded by these perfectly chosen, deeply personal items, feeling more exposed than if a stranger had walked in and looked through my drawers. I called QuickCart customer service. They were apologetic. The shopper, M, was a top-rated veteran contractor. They'd forward my feedback about over-personalization. They offered a credit. I told them I wanted my account flagged to never have that shopper again. They assured me it was done. For 2 weeks, my deliveries were normal, impersonal. Then, the next order arrived. The bags were there, but sitting on top of them was a small, unwrapped box. A phone charger. For a phone model I'd literally just bought 3 days prior. A gift receipt was tucked under it, made out to my name, from an electronics store across town. This wasn't data from a customer service chat or a social media scrape. This was real-time, intimate knowledge. They knew what I'd purchased offline, in cash, very recently. Panic, clean and sharp, set in. This person wasn't just reading my digital crumbs. They were watching. I canceled my QuickCart account that minute. I drove to the grocery store myself, my head on a swivel, checking every car in the lot. I started varying my routines. I felt paranoid, ridiculous. The feeling faded over a month. I'd almost convinced myself it was a bizarre, elaborate coincidence. Then, yesterday, a package arrived. Not from a delivery service. It was just on my porch. A plain brown cardboard box. No return address. My name and address were handwritten in neat block letters. Inside, nestled in packing paper, was a single item. A chef's knife. High quality, sharp, the kind I'd looked at online, but never purchased. There was no note, just the knife. And tucked into the very bottom of the box was a crumpled piece of paper. It was a printed copy of an online order confirmation. My order, for a knife block set from 8 months ago. My address. My order number. At the bottom of the confirmation, in the delivery instructions field, which I had left blank, someone had typed a new message. It read, "Instruction. Leave at door. Customer is always home. We'll keep the rest of the set for you. for when you're ready to cook for us. I threw the knife in a public dumpster miles from my home. I've filed reports, but they ask for proof, for a suspect. All I have is a box and a feeling. Tonight, I'm cooking dinner. From groceries I bought myself. My own knives are in the block. But as I reached for the one I always use, the large chef's knife, I stopped. It felt different in my hand. The balance was off. The handle was smoother. I looked at the block. The slot for that knife was empty. This knife in my hand, it wasn't mine. And from the living room, my smart speaker, which I never use, suddenly chimed. A voice I didn't recognize, calm and polite, filled the kitchen. It said, "Recipe suggestion. You have all the ingredients now." The voice didn't come from the speaker. It came from the baby monitor on the counter, for the child I don't have. On its video screen, showing an empty nursery I use for storage. A single word appeared in text across the blackness. "Shopper." I dropped the knife. It stuck, point down, in my wooden cutting board, vibrating. I stood there, in the heart of my own home, surrounded by things I thought I'd bought, in a life I thought was mine, realizing the most terrifying delivery had already been made. It wasn't the groceries. It wasn't the knife. It was the certainty. The delivery was complete. I was the product that had been seamlessly delivered to a new permanent owner. And the receipt was being written in real time, all around me, in the silence of my changed locks, my replaced knives, and the soft, digital glow of a monitor watching a room that was never meant to be a nursery.